What's the lamest excuse an ex has given you after getting caught cheating? I went on a trip, and when I got home all of the pictures featuring me were under the bed. He told me that the wind was blowing them around, but apparently it was only the pictures I was in, and not the posters or art inches away from them. Keep in mind, he was staying in my apartment, and they were under my bed. It was a very specific, very small tornado only targeting your pictures of course. His logic is flawless. One of my best friend's boyfriends told her that he was sleeping with another girl so he could find out how to please a woman better. When she asked him why couldn't he just ask her, he said he didn't want to make her feel self-conscious by asking her. I had a guy tell me if I let him sleep with me it would actually help his relationship because I'd be able to last longer when I frick her if you get me off first. Shockingly, I did not take him up on that offer. He claimed he was passed out on our couch drunk and his brother's GF raped him. He was so upset I almost believed him, until I found out it was a year-long thing between them. Geez, if someone is passed out drunk for a year you should probably dump them. I was blackout drunk. I don't remember anything, but remembers that a condom was used. Or, I think I was subconsciously trying to push you away. Frick my ex. I was subconsciously trying to push you away. Good news, it worked. Bye Felicia. It was my fault, because I was too distraught about the last time he cheated and it made him feel bad, and of course he needed a comforting vagina to feel better. That's like my ex who used to mope after he did something bad instead of try to make it up to me or make me feel better. I made him feel bad, so now he can't have a good time with me for the whole day. It wasn't my fault. He kept hitting on me and wouldn't leave me alone. I laughed in her face and never looked back. I had to suck his dong to shut him up. Well, it's your fault for going through my phone, you fricking bee. So if I hadn't gone through your phone you would have retroactively gone back to the day we started dating and somehow uncheated on me? Are you a fricking time traveler? One of his side pieces totaled his car the week we divorced though, and he didn't have insurance, so that was some good that came out of it at least. My ex said the same thing. Somehow the major incident of betrayal was when I looked at his phone, not when he'd started having sex with another woman 6 months before. My ex in high school cheated on me twice in one weekend with the same guy. I was away for the weekend. It was a childhood friend of hers, so I didn't see it coming honestly. The first time it just kind of happened. The second time she figured since she knew I was going to break up with her, she might as well do it again. That way he totally has to break up with his girlfriend now. Spoiler, he didn't, but I certainly did. I'm a Latino. It's in our blood. He really did say that. I've dated and been friends with a lot of Latino men. He was the only one who couldn't keep it in his pants. It still disgusts me to think about it. He should be embarrassed that he ever said that. Tell his mother. She'll beat him to death with La Chancla. He's my half brother. Saddest thing is she wasn't lying and she was cheating on me with her half brother who was 8 years older than her. Funniest thing is that she told me she chooses him and she was sorry, as if I'd take her back if she chose me. I joke about this story now but back then it really tore into me. Tried to explain to me the difference between love and lust and that she didn't love him, just had lust for him. Okay, bye. I'll admit I cheated on you once but you have to stop and think to yourself why I did it and what efforts you put into the relationship. I still don't know how someone could say this and mean it like they did nothing wrong. There is some reality to this. Relationships take work and effort. When you don't take care of your partner's needs they will start to feel neglected and want to look elsewhere for someone who would be more engaged with them. However, it's grounds for ending a relationship not betraying someone. That's where they get it wrong. When I caught her I actually laughed. She tried to hide under the covers. I just told the guy I hope you can afford her. She said she cheated because he was constantly complimenting her on her looks and paying attention to her. I was working 60-hour weeks to pay for a lifestyle we couldn't afford. Bro, that must have hurt though. But you were out of town? I was. For a vacation with my family. For 1 week. Looking back, very thankful the pregnancy scare with her was just that, a scare. I used a lifetime of luck not being tied to her for 18+ years. But I was thinking of you the whole time followed by, we both, she and guy she cheated on me with. agreed that if me and guy she cheated with's girlfriend, ever cheated, we would want you to do it with each other. That's supposed to make me feel better? WTF. My friend's grandma's husband, years ago, cheated on her. She was very upset and wanted to meet the husband of the woman her husband was banging. I don't know why. In the end, though, the two victims fell in love and got married. I had caught him sexting with girls before, so the trust was pretty much gone. Unfortunately, I was young and dumb at the time, so I didn't immediately dump the shithead. Some time after, I had a feeling that something was off about him, so I took his phone when he went to the bathroom and checked his recent messages. Not proud, but hey, he reacted abnormally defensive when I tried to talk and I was desperate. First conversation was with a random girl he met online, sexting, sending nudes, discussing when they were going to meet up, and within 3 minutes I found tons of similar conversations. One of them with my best friend. Yelled at him, cried, kicked him out. His response? It was just a test. Those girls are only friends. I wanted to see if you trusted me enough not to check my phone. Those convos are all fake. Needless to say, I didn't believe him. After he realized I wasn't going to believe him, he told me it was my fault because I was an annoying girlfriend. Yelled, well then you must be happy that I'm dumping you, and closed the door. Frick your best friend. Mine just refused to admit that she was cheating. She decided that she didn't need me anymore. Bit of a story there, but instead of leaving me she just started cheating. The guy was someone who she used to work with but got fired from the bookstore. She and I were mid-20s, but this guy was mid-30s, unemployed, no degree or job skills or training, hence being mid-30s, working in and getting fired from a bookstore, a big smoker, which she said that she could never date, and married. She knew that he was married. He knew that she was engaged to me. I worked midnights at a job which was 75% of our income, so I slept during the day. His wife worked during the day to support both of them, so when I was sleeping and his wife was at work, they did their thing. She'd drive over to meet him after his wife left. They did their thing, and made sure to get him home before his wife and she got back before I woke up. But, nope, she denied cheating. She didn't want me anymore, was sneakily spending as much time as possible alone with him and lying to me about where she was, which is how I caught her, and leaving me for him. But according to her, she totally wasn't cheating on me with him. Come on OP, tell us what happened to her after you broke up and the wife figured out he was cheating. When he opened a NSW Snapchat by accident in front of me, he went off to explain that he never provokes girls to send him anything, they just all send these dirty videos on their own with no conversation beforehand either. It was my fault because I wasn't giving her enough attention. I was in grad school and still doing everything I could to take her out weekly or go over, and she kept saying no cause she was out with friends. This was my ex's excuse. I thought you didn't love me anymore, or you should have paid more attention to me. My ex told me he slept with my former best friend. I asked him if he felt any remorse while he was doing it. He said yes, and I then asked him why didn't he stop. He proceeded to tell me that the deed was already being done, so might as well finish. So happy he's an ex now. You can't prove it. This was after I found his messages to another girl on a Facebook page he had open. I went through them obviously and he deleted them. He thought by deleting them that it never happened because I then couldn't prove it. I am a gay guy and the excuse he gave was, you haven't had sex with me in a month. Plus that day you refused to go out on a date with me. You hurt my feelings. Now some context. The day this dude was referring to was a week after my dad's funeral. Later that evening, after leaving my place, he went to the local hair salon and fricked the hairstylist. In the final months of his life, my father was extremely weak and had to be hospitalized. This ex was upset that I didn't frick him as I was too busy spending time with my dying father. What a fricking see. I've been there. My old man died in hospice. There was nowhere else in the world I would rather have been. Good on you. Chin up, you don't need negative bulls like that in your life. No one does. They came over and wouldn't leave until we did it. Double quote. One of my exes, when she had a threesome, I literally laughed out loud and hung up the phone. She called a week later, when her parents got back in town. While I was at work and stupid me answered without looking at who called. She told me she couldn't call me because he took her phone and said she could only get it back by giving him endless blowjobs, but she was sorry blah blah blah. It was long distance at this point in time, so I just hung up without saying a word, blocked her number. She was crazy. Threatened over MySpace and some online gaming servers we played that she would kill herself if I didn't unblock her number and talk to her. I called her dad and told him and she got some help, but yeah, bullet dodge there. Oh man, that's messed up. MySpace. After I caught him sending suggestive Facebook messages to an underage girl. He was 23, she was 15 and he was logged in on my laptop, so I didn't even have to snoop. She messaged me, yeah but you messaged back, for months. Should have reported him. Never been cheated on, but my wife was cheated on by her first husband. His reasoning was that he thought she was already cheating on him, which he wasn't. This probably isn't the kind of insane, funny, or plain stupid reason you are looking for, but it always made me pee off at him. That's major projection. After I called her out for cheating and emotionally manipulating me, she said it was all my fault, lied and said I treated her like crap and abused her when it was in fact her doing that to me, then accused me of having child pee on my PC when she tried being friends a few months later and I told her to frick off. That was tough on my mental health. After cheating on me with her ex for 6 months, I'm sorry, I just felt a bit lonely at that time and I thought it would be nice to spend time with him again. Oh, and by the way, I only ever proposed to make it up to you somehow. Yes, she's kind of a B, and it's not like I didn't try to be there for her. She didn't even let me. Good riddance, that relationship was hella toxic anyways. True story from my most recent ex. I wanted to make you jealous, so you'd want me more. I just laughed. Cried a bit after I threw her out though. It was Christmas and I was lonely. That jerk was alone on Christmas because he refused to go home on the ticket his parents bought him, and he didn't want to go to my family. So, clearly, the best option here is to pout all day, go to a bar with the girl that I told him was into him and I didn't trust her, and then let her blow him. But it's okay. He called me right after because he regretted it, and it's good for our relationship that he was honest, because he didn't have to tell me anything happened. The doctor said the sex gland in my brain keeps growing and you're away at class all the time. I'm pretty sure if a part of your brain was getting bigger your doctor would have you admitted into a hospital. The doctor said the sex gland in my brain keeps growing is the greatest cheating excuse I've ever heard. I can't stop freaking. It's a medical condition. Walked in on my ex giving her cousin a BJ and nope the frick out of there. She's been stalking me since and I don't know why. Her excuse was that family comes first. Family comes first. I wouldn't do it if only you would behave. You are too uptight. Everyone at my work is doing it. So, I decided to call his bluff. I said okay, let's disregard our marriage vows and agree on some new rules. As long as we're both playing by the same set of rules I'm okay with it. Cue one of his huge screaming hysterical infantile temper tantrums. Thankfully his retarded ass has been history for quite a long time now. When he screamed again in divorce court that he now had genital herpes, court staff were shaking their heads in disbelief while all I could do was laugh. Loser. Not me, but this couple from my high school had the wildest cheating story. We'll call them Nathan and Anna. Nathan is going away for the weekend with his bros and Anna is convinced he will cheat on her. She tells him multiple times, don't cheat on me Nathan. Don't cheat on me this weekend, as one does in any healthy relationship. Anyway, Nathan stays faithful. Anna on the other hand cheats on Nathan that same weekend. Her excuse: I thought you were going to cheat on me so that's why I cheated on you. A classic preemptive cheat, as one does in any healthy relationship. But it doesn't end there. Anna then gives Nathan a list of 100 things Nathan can do to improve their relationship. That's right, she cheated on him, and then gave him a list of things he needs to do better. He broke up with her on the spot. TLDR. Girl is afraid guy will cheat on her, cheats on him and gives him a list of things he should do better to save the relationship. I've heard of that. Someone who plans to cheat is already cheating will overcompensate and accuse their partner of cheating to cover their tracks. She definitely wanted to cheat, but was trying to throw off suspicion by putting her boyfriend on the defensive. Manipulative people are so gross. You've been neglecting me. Which was absolute total bulls. Not just bulls but the complete opposite of reality. She only stated this after running out of excuses and lies. Finally getting backed into a corner unable to deny it anymore. It was so disgusting to see. The way she whipped that card out of her pocket. It was clearly premeditated. A term excuse she would use if she ever got caught. You didn't love me anymore was mine. It's what kickstarted her cheating on me and destroyed an 8-year-long relationship because basically she decided it to be this way. My ex was in the army and we had this weird breakup. Basically, he was shipping off to Germany in a few months. I still had a few years of college left and he wasn't really willing to wait for me to be done with school. We went on a break to evaluate things but still remained intimate. It was one of those situations where I think both of us were kinda in denial about what was going on and were having trouble letting go of each other. Well, unbeknownst to me, during this time he started a full-on relationship with a 17-year-old girl he met online that lived near his base. He was 20 at the time. He started officially dating her while still hooking up and going on dates with me. When I found out, I confronted him. His excuse was that me and him weren't officially together anymore. Even though that was true, he didn't even address the fact that he was cheating on his new girlfriend with me for the first couple of months of their relationship. We were on break. My top 3 excuses from crappy exes. We have a lot of history, well, so does China, and you're not freaking them too. Are you? You've been working so much, and I just needed to feel special. Yeah, sorry I was pulling 60 hours between 2 jobs to keep you clothed, housed, and fed for the last 3 months. My bad. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to pile all your guitars on the front lawn and light them on fire. It's not what it looked like, and she doesn't mean anything to me. Anyway dude, it looked like you were balls deep and condom-less in some rando, and I'm not sure how that could possibly be confused with anything. Also, I'm super offended that you would gamble my health and well-being on someone that doesn't matter to you. It would seem a lot of cheaters think they are immune to steez. LOL. It was my fault she cheated. I was too nice to her. She didn't know how to behave in a healthy relationship. Pick one. She threw a whole bunch of excuses after I caught her. I made one attempt to work it out after I caught her. Thankfully, one failed attempt. Funny thing was her best friend ratted her out to me. Said I didn't deserve what she was doing to me. Relationship lasted less than 6 months. She didn't know how to behave in a healthy relationship. Well then enjoy life without a healthy relationship. I don't know why I am in this thread. It is giving me so much rage. Your ex did it like 3 times. I only did it once. I don't see what the big deal is. Really? Fuckface? I guess he thought as long as he didn't top my ex's score, we were cool. Ex gave me her phone because she couldn't connect to my new Wi-Fi. I scroll and see that one of the ones she has saved is her ex's house. Check the date and it was last weekend when she was supposedly out of town. So I ask her about it. Her. That was months ago when I went there. Me. Really? Because the date here says last weekend. Her. It must be when I drove past their old house. Me. For the whole weekend. Opened her phone. Don't even open the message because the preview said I had so much fun with you. Can't wait to see you again this weekend from her ex. I confronted her about it and she lied saying they were working on a project together. I couldn't help but crazy laugh and tell her to pack her things. She sobbed the whole time while I made dinner plans with friends. Not really an excuse per se, but I asked him what attracted him to her in the first place and this freaking idiot said, well, her braces were my favorite color green and they were really shiny. I also had braces, which were to be adjusted the next freaking day, and I planned on picking his favorite, green and pink. I was so booty-tickled about that crap for weeks. Booty-tickled. It varied between things like I never wanted to go camping to not having the windows down while driving, to even how I never made him coffee before work. In 18+ years he barely ever drank the stuff. Like I'd seen him drink it maybe a total of 6 times. We couldn't justify buying a coffee maker. Took me a while to realize that he really couldn't come up with a really good excuse to justify the affair. So he had to bundle up a bunch of small petty crap to demonize me. Ex-fiance cheated with co-worker. We went to party together and the guy was going to be there. Ex kept introducing me as a friend and when I called her on it, she said it was complicated, knew that was the end right there. My roommate found his visiting girlfriend sleeping with another guy in his dorm room bed. Her response was, "Let's be honest, you knew from the start I was way out of your league." I just liked the attention she gave me. The flirting was harmless. Writing FCK what my GF thinks. I am going to go see you. I can't wait to, write me a list of songs that make you think of me. I want to hear how you feel about me without you telling me. Is not harmless flirting. Especially when your girlfriend is in IQ because her heart is failing. Ugh. Still makes me shake with anger 2 years later. Long time ago, we were on holiday, she says when we return. Hope she enjoyed the one night stand with some douche she probably never saw again. Meanwhile I'm enjoying regular biannual holidays with my family. She occasionally complains about a 9-5 minimum wage cleaning job. Very cliche, but true. She's in her 40s now, no kids, single. For the record I do think she should be paid more, but honestly I couldn't care less so I don't interfere. Only reason I know is because I still have her added on some social media. She seemed extremely depressed after she got booted the frick out of my house so I remained friends with her and kept in contact just to make sure she didn't kill herself or something. Years have passed, we still talk but any attempt at conversation is usually swiftly ended by me. Yes, I am a piece of crap, but I have a good life. You are doing okay, man. She's an adult, should seek help instead of dongs. Or both. Who am I to judge? If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.